Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Hey, this is Jason Kleberg from the Force 5 podcast, a show that forces a guest to come up with a movie-themed top 5 list topic, and then we reveal our picks on air. Top 5 heist films, top 5 tearjerkers, top 5 movie dogs. Every show you'll be asking yourself, what would be on my list? Guests include directors, screenwriters, actors, podcasters, musicians, authors, and even a professional wrestler. Subscribe to the Force 5 podcast, and you won't just be a listener, you'll be a list nerd. The Force 5 podcast, available wherever you're listening now.
I'm Chris Stachiw.
And I'm Sean Liang.
And Sean, let me tell you a story about Francisco Manoel da Silva.
Better known as.
I wish I had my little fiddle or violin so I could play it.
That's incredible. Possibly the best opening of a movie I've seen in a long time.
Holy cow. So this is the first Culture Cast of May, and this May we are going to be looking back at the films of Werner Herzog, the German auteur filmmaker. It is a varied list of films. We, on the Culture Cast, are doing one feature-length film and one documentary a week, because Herzog is known for both his documentary films and his feature-length films. Something that a lot of directors can't really attest to, being known for both. And both are quite successful in both areas of the world. Today we're going to be talking about Cobra Verde from 1987. It is based on a book by Bruce Chatwin called The Viceroy of Ouidah. But before we talk about Cobra Verde, Sean, have you been watching anything this week?
I finally got around to watching Deadpool, and I really liked it.
Welcome to everyone else.
Exactly, I joined that bandwagon. It was good. I liked it. I actually liked it more for like the violence than I did for like the extra sex they popped in there. Because I guess that got overhyped a lot to me, and it was cheesy. It was exactly what it needed to be, but I really enjoyed the action scenes and like that big action scene that it opens with. Some great violence in there. I really like that.
Yeah, Deadpool's a good movie. Yeah, for sure.
It was good.
It's I think it's really good. I think it's a tad overhyped.
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna happen. I had to keep saying that to myself as I watched it. But this movie is a tad overhyped. Yeah, like that. It was. I obviously had higher expectations, but I actually really like where it went, and I hope that we continue to see superhero movies do that because it just seems right. It just feels appropriate.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's definitely the best superhero movie that's come out this year.
That's real.
That might change come end of this week.
That's right.
With Civil War, yeah, we'll see. Remains to be seen. Have I been watching anything? Well, No. I watched Charlie's Angels again last week for the first time in a while. That's a weird movie.
Which one did you watch?
The first one.
Okay. Yeah.
It has like Crispin Glover as a bad guy, and like Sam Rockwell as a bad guy.
That's right.
This is when Cameron Diaz and Drew Barrymore were like at their like peak of like hotness.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
And then Lucy Liu was big at the time.
Yeah, Lucy. I don't even know what she's doing anymore.
I know, like she was doing.
I think she's on Elementary, right?
That was the last thing I'd seen her in, and I love her, but I wish she'd do some more movies.
Hey, bro, but she's an Asian actor.
That's right. There's not enough room for her, so.
Yeah. You know what they say about Oscars so white, yet Asian actors, fuck them.
Yeah.
Jesus. It was, it's good. It's kind of a throwback, weird, goofy, kind of parody-ish movie, if that makes sense.
I like that.
I didn't walk away with it wanting to watch the second one. Let me put it that way.
The second one I remember is not as good.
I remember the second one being abject garbage. So, God, it has like Demi Moore and Justin Theroux in it. Oh, wow. That's like all I remember. Yeah.
Is Shia LaBeouf also in it?
Oh, dear God.
I think that's a real thing.
Well, I'm not watching that now for sure. There goes any possibility of me watching it. Man. Holy shit. No thanks.
Yeah. That was his like first big movie outside of Disney, I think.
Was it?
I want to say that it was, because he was still like a young kid then. Like,
oh, God.
He said like curse words and everything.
Oh, wow. Oh, cool, man.
Right?
God. Well, let's talk about Cobra Verde.
Let's.
Like I mentioned, it was released in 1987. It is Werner Herzog and Klaus Kinski's final collaboration, one of many. They have a very tumultuous, storied relationship that was actually documented in the film My Best Fiend, due to Klaus Kinski just being kind of a insane method actor / larger than life personality. The synopsis for the film is the feared bandit Cobra Verde is hired by a plantation owner to supervise his slaves. The owner suspects Cobra Verde of consorting with his young daughters. He wishes him gone. Rather than kill him, the owner sends Cobra to Africa to reestablish slave trade.
Defend yourself! Cover your body with a shield! If you trip and fall, it's the end of you! Ah!
I need a man like you. I have 600 slaves in my sugar fields, and my overseer's an idiot. No one grows more sugar than I do.
Hey, Francisco Manoel, don't your shoes fit?
Tell me, did you ever learn how to use a knife and fork? The man from Satao doesn't talk to anyone. How many cows did you own?
Valkyria! Valkyria! Are you pregnant too? Well, bellhead! Bastard! You! What have you got to say for yourself?
Sugarcane planter. I am the bandit Cobra Verde.
Send him to Africa to buy slaves.
What do you mean, buy slaves? We haven't had a slave from Africa in the last 10 years.
That's just the point. We send him to a certain death.
Aren't you afraid? Aren't you afraid of dying?
I haven't tried it yet. Which one would you like to have?
That one. Who are these women?
Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Have you ever wanted to dive deeper into the horror movies you love? Beyond the Blood is a horror podcast for fans who want more than just surface-level screams. We do deep dives into the movies that shaped us, digging into director commentaries, behind-the-scenes stories, deleted scenes, and the special features that most people skip. Each episode is a love letter to the genre. We break down how these films were made, the creative risks that paid off or didn't, and the lasting impact they've had on the genre as a whole. From 70s slashers to modern nightmares, we celebrate the craft, chaos, and characters that keep us coming back. If you're the kind of fan who rewatches movies with the commentary on, or you simply grew up in the video store horror aisle, the Beyond the Blood podcast was made for you. New episodes every single week. Subscribe, let's dig deep. Welcome to the Beyond the Blood podcast.
Our future murderers.
Surface explanation for what this film is.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Before I ask you if you'd seen this film before, Sean, have you ever seen any Werner Herzog films before?
I have, but only. Okay, so I know we watched Incident at Loch Ness, but then also I want to say he also did Grizzly Man, right? He was.
Yeah, that's one of his documentaries.
I want to say that's the only other movie of his that I've seen. But of course, I know who he is because he's become a pop culture icon recently. It's even in in Rick and Morty, he's in. They refer to him a lot
right
when he's in it. So. He's definitely, his reputation precedes him.
Had you ever seen a film with Klaus Kinski in it?
Never before.
Okay. So, with your kind of exposure to Werner Herzog on the record, what did you think of this first film?
Well, it's
feature-length film that you'd seen.
Yeah, that's right. This is actually the first, this is pretty much the first feature that I've seen that he directed. And he has this, like I said, his reputation is very eccentric almost, but very very polished and respected. So I was interested. I told you before we started that when it started, I thought it was one of his documentaries because it has that really raw, sort of beautiful cinematography. And I thought that was one of the most striking things for me is seeing the for example the African King's palace was just really beautiful, and just the people. It has that sort of gritty rawness, which I feel like I've heard him described as before, and that's kind of what I loved about this movie. It was difficult for me this is a movie where I definitely had to read the plot synopsis as it was going, as I'm I'm getting distracted by the imagery and totally not reading the subtitles. So I definitely had to sit through this one again. But overall, it was fun to watch. Definitely interesting cast of characters.
Yeah, this is the first feature-length Werner Herzog film I'd seen in a really long time. And this is the first one I'd seen in a while that features Klaus Kinski. Obviously, you know, Klaus Kinski to Werner Herzog is kind of De Niro to Scorsese or DiCaprio to Scorsese. I mean, they work together a lot.
I see.
So, you know, Werner Herzog is an auteur. Every film that he makes, you know, it's a Werner Herzog film. And this film is no different. There are a lot of long shots that just focus on really bizarre things.
Yeah.
The film, like you said, it feels really gritty and real and at times very upsetting, and kind of hard to watch just because of how real it feels. But I think that obviously, you know, that is what makes him an auteur. I mean, you know it's a Werner Herzog film when you watch it.
Yeah.
And that's why I really like Werner Herzog. I really enjoy auteurs for the most part. There are some that I'm not huge fans of, but when you can feel the director's presence on the film and it's just so uniquely them, that's something I really enjoy.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I think that's something that I don't get to see very often. And that's definitely, like you said, like the fact that he has like an eye for documentary, it definitely aids in the way he tells stories. It's so, like you said, he'll hold on just what seems to be irrelevant but just fascinating, intriguing action, or like there's one scene where he catches, specifically this sticks out in my mind, I don't know why, but we follow like this pig walking across, it takes a while to walking across this field, and it lands perfectly on these other two pigs that are like humping, and it's just like that's just so random, but like that sticks out in such a strange way, the way he follows it. Or even there's a scene where he holds on this crippled boy just hobbling across the courtyard and then leaning against the wall. And it's something so subtle, but so powerful to me. I think that's what I loved about it.
Well, yeah, you know, Werner Herzog knows what he's doing.
Right.
The way he focuses on these kind of specific, oddly specific and very specific things, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you said, at one point they just focus on a barrel rolling down a street. Yeah. You know, it's not by accident that he's focusing on these small events in the film that might not seem like anything, and they might not be anything, but that's just the way Herzog does things. Yeah. But you know, the thing that I really enjoyed about this movie, and I think that this is going to be echoed throughout the month, is the righteous fury that Klaus Kinski has as an actor.
Yeah.
He is, I think, without a doubt, one of the greatest actors of all time. I mean, his role in this movie, you know, this is like a master course for any actor. If they want to look at what it's like to throw yourself completely into a role, all you have to do is look at Klaus Kinski in any of his films. But this one, I mean, holy shit. Yeah. You don't feel like he's pretending to be a character.
No.
You feel like he is the character of Cobra Verde.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing him seeing him train the women and just going, oh my God, it's fascinating. It's like really, it's not over the top.
That scene with him in that crowd of, in the crowd of the women is the best scene in this film.
Yes, I love it. I love that.
It's just so powerful.
Yeah.
You feel it like it's like it jumps off the screen. And you just totally understand. I felt like I totally understood the movie watching that scene.
Yeah.
It's this one guy thrust into this situation where he's having to adapt with these locals, these natives, and, you know, overthrow this massive institution, and then when he does, nothing changes.
Yeah, everything goes right back.
He's the problem at the end of the film. After he does everything to help them, then then they want him.
Yep.
They have a price on his head at the end of the film. So it's just, you know, Klaus Kinski really is, if you can feel the power of his acting abilities.
Yeah.
And his massively expressive eyes.
Yeah.
Enough can't be said about how great of an actor Klaus Kinski is.
I love specifically the scene. It's amazing how, like, even though there's like several language barriers that's happening within just like one scene. I love how it's so in his body. Like, just watching him writing that letter at the end and describing, what it's like to be a master of slaves, and yet to know that slave is what he calls it. He's like, it's the ruin of man. That's like the element of man that is our ruin. And just to see that sort of embodied in him as he's sitting there, and then having with that broken glass of champagne wine or whatever it is, it just, those images start to come together, and it just feels so real. I don't know. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. It's one of these films that you really have to watch it. It's kind of hard to explain what's so great about it and this is going to be the case with a lot of Herzog's work. It's something you have to experience. You can't really explain it because the film is just so powerful, and just the images that it shows are so strong. And when you watch it, you're just like, you get it immediately.
Yeah.
But there really isn't anyone like Herzog who makes films.
Yeah.
And there definitely isn't anyone and there never will be anyone like Klaus Kinski with their ability to emote and just fully embody a character. Daniel Day-Lewis, in my mind, kind of comes close.
Yeah.
But Klaus Kinski, I mean, he's just, there's not a whole lot to say really that because saying what it is and seeing it are so two different things.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, I think that I agree. I think that what he does with the whole cast, like, you just see in all of there's so many fascinating people in this movie, and that's what kind of makes it feel like you're watching a documentary. There's no like actor, you know what I mean? There's no like movie star in this movie. It's very just the amount of visceral imagery that happens in this movie. Like, one of my favorite scenes is between Klaus and what's his Euclides, the boy that owns the bar at the very beginning. I love watching them have that conversation. It's so captivating, and I'm still, it's so simple, but it's just so. It's almost like you stumbled into this city, and I mean, it just feels so real. And I just wish it's almost like you're sitting in that room with them in the cans. I don't know. I love that scene a lot.
Well, and when you look at the way that Herzog shoots these scenes, they focus on these singular, like I said, they focus on these singular events that often you wouldn't give any thought to.
Yeah.
But then it's this conversation between these two about the snow and the moon, and it's just it's moving and it's enthralling, and I think given any other director and actor combination, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what kind of I walk away from these Werner Herzog films feeling. It's like you're seeing a master at his like absolute best.
Yeah.
Like Klaus Kinski and Werner Herzog. And most people have never heard of Cobra Verde. And on top of that, Cobra Verde isn't, it doesn't hold that kind of acclaim in the Werner Herzog kind of filmography and Klaus Kinski filmography that Fitzcarraldo or Aguirre, The Wrath of God do. I mean, those films are, considered, Klaus Kinski and Werner Herzog's best collaborations, especially Aguirre. I mean, Aguirre is a modern classic. I mean, that film is, on top of the film itself, the way that the film was shot and made is just absolutely just breathtaking. And then, you have this film, which doesn't have that acclaim, but I mean, it's still an absolutely, just you feel. I feel like this film was a. Films aren't made like this anymore.
Yeah, no way.
Right?
I don't think I've ever seen something like this before, to be honest.
And when we get to Fitzcarraldo and Aguirre, you'll see even, the crazier, more epic filmmaking at hand. But, even a film like this, they don't make films like this anymore.
Yeah.
Filmmakers don't go and do stuff like this anymore. Everything's done, in a studio or on a backlot somewhere. this doesn't feel like you said, this doesn't really feel like a movie.
No, it feels like it's like true, pure storytelling. It really is, and it's like it lets you sort of go into these cultures like you don't get to in like you never would in a studio movie. You know what I mean? Like they'll show you a movie set that looks like Brazil, but they won't take you through the jungles. You know what I mean? Like this feels so like you're there.
No, it just feels gritty and real, and you can feel the sweat on your brow when you're watching them in the jungle, or when they're in what's supposed to be West Africa, when they're in Ghana shooting.
Yeah.
You get you feel it. It doesn't feel fake or forced or
exactly.
Yeah. And to me, I think that's one of the things that really sets Werner Herzog apart, and you can really tell in this film, is he doesn't cut corners to bring the audience into the world that he's creating.
Yeah, no way. Yeah.
And you feel it with this film. You totally feel the dirt and the grit and the humidity of the jungle, and then when they're in Ghana, you feel it.
Yeah. I love like that the final few minutes of him just being washed over by the ocean and just watching. I don't know. There's it's just like you feel the elements. It's so true. It feels dirty, and that's what I don't know. I keep saying the same thing. It just feels so real.
Well, and the message is oddly kind of, it's oddly topical. When you're talking about the slaves overthrowing the king, only then to be enslaved by the next king.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's like nothing, nothing is really gained here. It's just kind of it's Ouroboros. It's a snake eating its own tail.
Yeah.
They can never really escape this cycle. He's helping them overthrow the king so that they can become slaves.
Yeah.
That's in this day and age, trying to overthrow your corporate masters or the system,
exactly,
only to then become part of the system. It's a pretty topical thing to think about in this day and age, for sure.
Definitely, still very relatable. Yeah.
Yeah. And like you mentioned, we have Klaus Kinski in this film as Cobra Verde, but the other cast members are, fantastic in the roles that they're cast in.
Oh yeah.
The only thing I think that a lot of people would have a problem with, and this is something that we had a problem with just trying to get this film, was finding a version of the film that wasn't in German subtitles.
Yeah. I ended up, because I couldn't, I ended up having to go through, I had to buy it on Amazon, or I rented it on Amazon, and I couldn't find it anywhere else, to be honest.
On Amazon, was it English subtitles?
Yeah.
Okay, so thankfully there's not an English dubbed version of this film.
Right. Oh my God, that would be awful. I wouldn't.
Well, and I want to say when I saw Aguirre the first time, I watched an English dubbed version of that, and I don't remember it being that great. There's just something about the German language that's so forceful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And just hearing it come out of Klaus, I mean, just that it's so guttural. It's so part of his rawness. You know what I mean? That is so animalistic and just so, I don't know, that's like one of the best parts about it is you just see him making that, and the training scene, just hearing him wailing and going nuts.
Yeah, and the German language and Klaus Kinski as an actor, they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and if it were in English, I think a lot of the characterization of Cobra Verde and Klaus Kinski's abilities as an actor would be dulled, because you just don't get that forcefulness with the English language that you do with the German language.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say. This you need to watch this film.
Yeah, it's a very much an experience.
Yeah, it's a long film. It's a very long film. It's almost 2 hours long. And for some people, having to watch a film with subtitles for 2 hours long, that requires your attention. You can't be, doing other things.
Yeah.
That's a lot to ask for some people. I understand. But it's a very rewarding experience.
And the thing about this movie also is, even that when there isn't dialogue, there's just so much that he's saying with what he's showing you. You know what I mean? I think that that's incredibly cool about this kind of movie. Because like I said, there were several times I'd have to rewind and like read the subtitles because I was just so captivated by what I was seeing, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you're totally right. Even when they're not talking, it's just you're just like there's something to see.
Yeah, there's so much between the lines, I think.
Yeah. Well, skip it or watch it in best performance.
Definitely watch this because it's like I said, I've never seen a movie like this before, and I feel like a lot of people my age especially haven't. So I definitely say skip. I mean, watch it.
I don't even know if people our age would enjoy this film.
I want to. It's so hard to because I am a filmmaker that I don't know. Like maybe it is a niche sort of film, but you're not going to see stuff like this anywhere except for maybe like I don't know, like National Geographic or something. But I don't even. It's hard to find a really good story like this to be.
Well, yeah, like we said, they don't make movies like this anymore.
Right, you're not going to see this in a studio movie, in a studio film. So,
I mean, as much as I do love superhero movies, sorry, this is not Captain America: Civil War.
Exactly. There's
a lot going on in this movie.
Yeah, it feels so. It's like really going somewhere. Like it takes you somewhere. Yeah. So I just was so struck by. I mean, I would definitely say Klaus, but I think I was just so captivated by his name's Guillermo Coronel by Euclides. That's how he said it. The little bar owner at the beginning of the movie. Just such a beautiful myth that he told, and that relationship at the beginning is kind of. It says a lot about who Cobra Verde is, you know, who he really is, Francisco. Yeah. So I saying, you know, given that Klaus was great, Guillermo, that little guy, got my heart.
Yeah, you know, for me, definitely it's a watch. You know, it's a great film. Again, I don't think it has that acclaim that maybe Aguirre and Fitzcarraldo do. Those films again are considered, you know, the Herzog films. If you're gonna watch a Herzog film, but you know, I think that this is up there. I think that this might be a little underrated. And obviously, you know, with all the Klaus Kinski, you know, bleed over with him, you know, getting so angry at the original cinematographer that the guy left because he was getting yelled at by Klaus Kinski so much. You know, it's just there's a lot going on in the film and off screen. So, and best performance, you know, ruling out Klaus Kinski, who obviously that would be a little unfair to give it to him because I think it's going to go to him every time he's on screen.
Right, he's also like half the production. You know what I mean? Like to me.
Yeah. I think for me it would probably have to be Jose Lugoy, who plays Don Octavio Coutinho.
Yes.
He's great.
That was such a great.
He's like so slimy.
Yeah.
He doesn't even like realize who Cobra Verde is.
I love oh man, that scene where he's just like storming through the house, slapping all his daughters. Oh my God.
Yeah, because Cobra Verde had sex with all of them and impregnated all of them. And they're like 15 and he's like a 40-year-old man.
Oh my God, but they all were like, let's be honest, they all were thirsty.
Yeah, apparently. You know, it's a minor part in the film. He's a minor character, but he's great.
Yeah.
And he plays really well off of Klaus Kinski as well. So, Sean, what do you think the film has on Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh my God. Ooh. Oh, that's tough. We're talking like audience or critics. I'd say audience is going to be like, I bet it's, I don't know. It's tough. Okay. I want to say audience like 60 because I bet it's hard to find an audience that would watch this. And then critics, I want to say like 80 for critics.
88 critics, 76 audience.
Oh.
And mind you, you know, I mean, I think this film is much more, accepted and lauded in the German pantheon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Of audience and filmmakers. I definitely don't think that this is a film made for American audiences. So, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is not a film for American audiences, and the American audience that finds it, they're looking for it specifically. They don't watch it by accident on Turner Classic Movies on a Friday night.
Exactly. It's not something that you Netflix and chill to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So before I talk about Thursday's Kulturecast, Sean, anything you want to plug?
Nothing new. As always, Lonely and Horny is still coming out every week. And as always, you can also follow me on Twitter. I'm Shaughnifer, and on Facebook, I'm Sean Liang.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Kulturestash. And if you like what you're hearing now, head on over to cultureshock.com/Kulturecast to hear all of the other Kulturecasts featuring myself and Sean and our previous co-hosts as well. And some great interviews with some really awesome people. We actually talked to Zach Penn last month about Incident at Loch Ness, a film that he shot with Werner Herzog. And that was a great kind of insight into working with Werner Herzog and how Werner Herzog approaches projects that he's not directing or writing outright. This Thursday, we're going to be talking about Into the Abyss. It is a full-length documentary directed by Werner Herzog that looks at punishment. What was it called? Corporal punishment?
Yeah, corporal death row.
And this Thursday, we're going to be looking at Into the Abyss, Werner Herzog's full-length documentary that talks primarily about death row, and it focuses on 2 death row inmates in Texas. It's a little harder to watch than even this film. Yeah. It's a rough film. It's actually on Netflix. So, as always, big thanks to Evoca for providing our intro-outro music for the Kulturecast. Their track Lament provides the lovely intro-outro sounds for this Kulturecast and every Kulturecast. And if you like what you're hearing, you can always head on over to patreon.com/culture_shocked and help us out. It's not free and it's not cheap to keep the Kulturecast and Culture Shocked running, and every little donation helps us. And make sure to check out this Thursday's Kulturecast.
Hello, filthy movie lovers. My name is Gentry Austin.
And I'm Casey Scott.
And we're the hosts of the Sin Syndicate, film podcast for something weirdos, anti-criterion bros, and Joseph Sarno aficionados. Join us semi-weekly as we peer into the adults-only theaters and sticky-floored cinemas of the golden age of sexploitation, when the morals were loose, the laws were murky, and the intercourse was all simulated. Find us now on the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.